So imagine winning £1,000 just to transform your body. All our members at THQ, when they go through the transformation process, they're all in the running to win the THQ £1,000 cash prize challenge. And today we're going to go and talk to Emma Gaskell, who's the latest winner of the £1,000 cash prize. She's a THQ High member, and we're going to talk to you today about her journey of the run up to actually winning the end of year cash prize. We're going to talk about how much weight she's lost. We're going to talk about how different her clothes sizes, how she feels physically, how she feels mentally, and how she's actually got paid for doing it. So this is going to be a really interesting interview, and just to show how we try to sort of reward our members with actually giving them results, but then recognizing the people that have gone the extra mile and put in the extra effort to really have an incredible transformation, so we can give them a £1,000 cash prize and they can inspire other people like yourself to do the same. So we're arriving at High Lane now, so let's go and talk to Emma. So tell me about the 6-week program. So how did you feel before you started, and what sort of made you join, and how did the process go?
So I was just really fed up with how I looked. I just one day just decided that I've just had enough, and it was quite hard. So yeah, I decided that I was going to make a change, and the first 6 weeks were all about just making small changes, like, you know, stripping back my diet to some basics, and also to add training in 3 times a week, which, you know, the basics sound basic, but I always revert back to those, so it's got a good foundation, I think.
What was you finding hard before? Like, what was it, like your food habits? What was hard about it, and what was that?
Yeah, like all of it was hard. Like having no energy was hard. Eating bad food, it was hard. It was, nothing, my clothes didn't fit, like it was all hard. And yeah, so.
What was your nutrition? What was you eating? What was you just like picking things on the go, or was it just?
Yeah, so takeouts a couple of times a week easily. I was having I'd have like toast, sometimes I'd have like 4 pieces of toast for my breakfast, which is just unnecessary. But then yeah, like for lunch I would pick up like pasta pots, and and then dinner time would come and have a massive portion of like whatever I was eating, and teamed with like nipping to the shop and getting chocolate and sweets and stuff like that. It just all piled on, really.
Was there a point that you thought, right, like what was the sort of deciding factor you thought, right, I need to make a change and I need to contact THQ or just make healthier choices?
Yeah, I just looked in the mirror one day and I just decided, like, I can keep burying my head in the sand, but it's not going away. I still felt tired all the time. I looked in the mirror, I wasn't very happy with what I looked at. And so yeah, one day I just woke up and was like, right, I've actually had enough now. I need to make a change. So that was when I messaged Will.
Yeah. Brilliant. So obviously you started a 6-week program, you started eating better, getting more consistent with your nutrition. How long was it until you really found yourself just settling into good daily habits?
I would probably say anywhere between 2 or 3 months of being quite consistent with it. It started to just become like clockwork, and it wasn't really something I had to think of anymore. I would just stick to sort of similar breakfasts, pick a couple that I liked, pick a couple of lunches that I liked, and just kind of stuck with that. So it was probably 2 or 3 months before I felt really in a routine with what I was eating.
Did you find it easy to follow? We try and make it simple for people to actually follow and understand. Did you find that was an easy process to just slip straight into?
Yeah, it was quite easy. You have to get a bit creative with some of the things, some of the ingredients on the food list. But yeah, I found it quite easy to implement, really, and yeah.
Brilliant. So exactly what results did you get in 6 weeks? Tell me your weight, dress sizes, clothes sizes.
I think I'd managed to lose about half a stone on the 6-week programme. Such a long time ago, but it's hard to remember. So yeah, it was about half a stone. I was sitting at a size 16, and I was sort of managing to sort of fit into my sort of 14s, you know, after that. So it just kept spurring me on, really. I always had every intention to carry on after the 6 weeks anyway. But those 6 weeks just gave me like the basics to stick to. So
it gives you that foundation then to really focus on improving constantly with transformation. Brilliant. So THQ just does weight training because that gives people the best bang for buck. It sort of helps people like sort of get the body shape that they want. So how did you find, especially as a female coming into a weight training environment, which is full of females, I will just point it out, but how did you find that? Like, how is it? Was it something that you'd done before, something that you found scary, something that you're bulky?
Yeah, so I was probably a little bit apprehensive. I mean, I'd always gone to these sort of big, huge group classes, and actually it was quite nice to walk in somewhere that had, you know, small members and small group training. You know, at first, you know, I'll admit I wasn't 100% sure if it was for me. Like I said, in my head, I was used to going to these classes and coming out absolutely dripping, and I was always really exhausted. And in my head, I kind of thought that's what I needed to do to lose weight. So for me, like picking up the 5 kilo dumbbells felt like I wasn't really doing much at the time. But then I looked at, obviously, like you just look at everyone's results and you think, well, you have to just trust and stick with it. And then obviously you start to see results. But yeah, I think there is a misconception about weight training and women thinking that they'll look bulkier, but personally I've never felt more feminine in how I look.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So nice friendly environment for females to walk into as well. So what would you say on cardio side? Obviously we get people to be as active as possible, but females are very sort of focused on just doing cardio to achieve results.
Yeah, well that's it. That was my idea of how to lose weight, was get as much cardio in as possible. You have to be running, you know, cross trainer and doing all that, like, you know, up to an hour a day. And it just isn't the case. It wasn't for me anyway. My job's quite active, so that wasn't really an issue. Work-wise, I don't sit at a desk. I'm quite active, and like walking was enough for me to add in. So yeah, I wouldn't say, to be honest, I would say I did very little cardio in the whole sort of 16 months it took me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it just proves, doesn't it? When we see a result on the video now, people will be able to see what a dramatic transformation it was. So your food knowledge now. So without sort of like handpicking different food, I like to make sure, and all THQ likes to make sure, that women feel empowered with their sort of food knowledge and their understanding, because without sort of saying, never slagging another companies off, but there's certain clubs out there, should we say, that I feel that sort of keep females at arm's reach of what's actually going on, and they just make up little sort of points and things like that to help females understand, rather than just giving them the facts of understanding calories, understanding protein, understanding fats, understanding carbs, so they can feel empowered, so they can do it forever without the use of, obviously we want members to stay for us forever, but we want you to also feel empowered that you can do it without us as well. I think that's important, and I think different sort of, say, slimming clubs will then just create these systems and I think confuse what's actually going on rather than educate people. So how do you feel? Do you feel empowered and in control of your knowledge now with your food?
Yeah, 100%. I would say prior to this, again, in my head I always just thought I need to be on as little calories as possible, and that was just kind of it for me. Whereas now I've learned about maintenance calories, I've learned about calorie surplus, you know, how I can take my body in whichever direction I kind of want. Whereas, yeah, like you say, I think some companies kind of pry on this whole scale weight is very much the big deciding factor when people look at their success.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't really look at scale weight at all anymore.
No, and it's how you look, and it's and it's
Yeah.
more, and what we have to realise as well, that at some point we are all going to go a little bit backwards, whether that's holidays, whether that's Christmas, and the main thing is that you will understand how to get back to where you was.
And that's what I mean about the basics, like sticking to the basics. I always go back to basics when I think, oh, you know, I've binged this weekend a little bit, as we all do. I will then just go back to those basics that I did in my 6-week programme, and I just sort of draw a line under it and start again the next day.
Brilliant, brilliant. So let's talk about the shoot. So the 12-week shoot program is where you've won the £1,000 cash prize, which is absolutely brilliant. So there's five THQs, but 4 THQs that went into the prize draw at the start. So it was over 4 clubs. So well done for winning that. So obviously a lot of people you've come top on. So it's absolutely brilliant. So like I said, Emma has won the £1,000 cash prize. We won for getting the most exceptional result and overcoming a lot of barriers to do that. So tell me about the shoot process. Now the shoot is a 12-week shoot program. It's included free with the membership. It's available only to members that are rolling members, not people that are just joining. And the reason for that, because it's a little bit of a stricter program. So in a quick overview, tell us about that program and how you've achieved the results from it.
Yeah, so like everyone, I just wanted to dive straight into the 12-week program. But it's good that you don't allow people to do that, because obviously I think you just want to chuck everything at it for the quickest result, when actually, no, if you nail those basics, then you can go on to obviously the programs where there are some more restrictions. But it's laid out nicely because, you know, with the different modules, it meant that 1 week I focused on sleeping better and 1 week I focused on getting more steps in and things like that. So it was just about adding in the smaller habits to obviously create an overall result. But yeah, I would say I was probably ready for the shoot. I think I got like 2 or 3 months in, sort of when I started to see those changes and think, right, I'm going to commit to doing a program now.
Yeah, brilliant. And just for people obviously listening and watching, I think the shoot is the best way to explain it. It's just a period of your life where you knuckle down, just like you knuckle down for an exam. You achieve a certain outcome. You don't have to necessarily continue them strict habits, but you've gained so many good positive habits. You've obviously progressed so much, and as long as you continue to do them habits, then you're going to go on to maintain it as well and continue to maintain it. So let's talk about your plans now and what your view on your body transformation. What's your current goals now?
So now I'm on the more specialised programmes now, and I can play around with my calories more. Obviously my goal now is to build more muscle. So obviously looking at sort of a little surplus, which means I can eat more.
Yeah. Do you think you'd have said that?
No. When I first walked in, I was like, I want to lose as much weight as possible, like that. So yeah, now I just look at it totally differently now. Like I can, the specialised programs are great because if I want to build on my legs, I can. If I want to work on my arms, I can. And yeah, it's nice to have that, almost creativity with your own body.
Yeah,
now.
Very good words. Yeah, that's powerful, I think, and that in itself, I think, is powerful for a lot of females to listen to. So, what would you say to anyone thinking about joining, thinking about changing their life and improving themselves?
It's hard work, but it's really good to challenge yourself to do it. I definitely think if you've got any reservations, like I had reservations myself walking in, but 6 weeks in, I was really pleased with the results. So yeah, I'd say give it a go. Give it a try.
Brilliant. So guys, if anything that Emma's been saying has resonated with you and you think that THQ could help you achieve your goals, we certainly think we'll be able to help you achieve your goals. So we start the 6-week program. It starts at the start of each month. So just click the link below this video, fire us a message, find out more information, and we'll get back to you.